You're going to love this. Trust me, what you're seeing now is my normal state.
Welcome, I'm Spaghetti King, and I know I'm late to this because of the way I do recording sessions, and I haven't been uploading videos at all. I'm not really a news guy, and I wasn't really sure if I even wanted to talk about this, but it's a matter of if I'm recording things, then I may as well make a note of it. Kentaro Miura's passing. I am a giant fan of Berserk. I have been since I saw it. It's one of the most sublime series I've ever seen. I love it very much, and for anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm going to avoid spoilers here for the most part, just to say I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, please read Berserk. Read the manga. If you have to, watch the 1997 anime. Whatever you have to do. It's an excellent, 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 excellent series. It's a fantastic series. The level of quality is stupendous. The character writing, the tragedy, the art, everything, it's magnificent. It's one of the greatest pieces of media I've ever observed. It's among the greatest. So I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And what I want to do here today is simply give my reflections on Berserk as a series, because I don't know Kentaro Miura personally. I can give, some of my suggestions, but I don't know the man. I just know what he made, and I know what I could interpret from what he wrote of the series. I've heard a lot of people say that he puts a lot of his soul into the series, which I wouldn't doubt. The series has a theme about struggle, as a theme. I mean, Guts himself has gone through the worst torments you could imagine. The man was raped as a child. The man was born of a dying corpse. A dead. It was kind of indeterminate. His own father tried to kill him. He got his family in the Band of the Hawk, who was sacrificed by his, we would say, best friend, Griffith. And the greatest tragedy and betrayal I've ever seen. Again, trying to avoid spoilers. Actually, no, I'm not trying to avoid spoilers. I'm going, okay? I'm going, boys. I'm going off. Forget it. I was going to avoid spoilers. I'm not. Let's just go, okay? I'm sorry that I said I'm going to avoid spoilers. I just can't, okay? I'm a bit flustered on the subject because it was kind of hard for me to take. And I know I can say that, and it can sound kind of like whatever. I don't know him personally, but it's something I didn't realize until he was gone. How much I appreciate the series, how much I love the series, how much work went into the series, and the fact that what he had to give us will not be given now. It's something I needed to think about for a bit, and how much I respect Berserk, how much I love Berserk, how much I get out of Berserk. I didn't really think about it before, but I will say at this point that probably my favorite manga is Berserk. I didn't want to really say it before because Berserk wasn't finished. But now it's basically finished, so at this point I have to basically come out and say it. Berserk is pretty much my favorite manga. I was reluctant about saying it, I was reluctant about making that decision, but I really have to make that decision at that point. This is how much I respect Berserk. Berserk is virtually finished. Now, they'll probably give, well, I don't know if they will, but they'll probably give some kind of treatment to the series. They'll give something, some kind of send-off to it rather than just dumping it, we would hope. And I'm fine with that, honestly. I'm fine with an open ending for Berserk. I think Berserk can do well with open endings. I think we're at a point in the story where that can be done. And it won't be in a very inappropriate way, because we're at a good turning point of an arc at the end of the Elfhelm arc, and Miura was dropping plot relevant stuff in those last chapters. I think he was really trying to build up to his conclusions with the story. I think he realized that he kind of overplayed himself with that whole sea god thing and that business, where it really kind of went off, and he was trying to veer it back into major progress, but course, I don't think we'll ever see the light of day. It's tough for me to talk about everything that's gone on because I wasn't really thinking about Berserk much before. It kind of just came up, and I had to just really rethink quickly everything I thought about the series. And I will say that everything that Kentaro Miura brought is some of the most exceptional of any manga. You know, very few of the old school boys are still going, and still going strong to this day. Really only JoJo's. You know, you have JoJo's, you have Dragon Ball, and you have Berserk. That's pretty much what you have of, like, the old dudes, the old docs, who are still trudging along. And Berserk, I would say, held the highest quality of them all. I mean, up there with JoJo's, right? JoJo's is really a legend. And Berserk had still held firm in what it was. It still, you know, it didn't feel like it was some kind of altered series. It didn't feel like, it felt in no way perverted. It felt very much, you know, pure to its source material, pure to its intentions by Miura. And Miura was very protective of Berserk and very specific and hands-on about what he did with the series, and I very much appreciated that. Very much kind of like George Lucas was before he sold Star Wars off. You know, he was very hands-on with his series, and it made almost everything that came out of Berserk except the 2016 anime a work of art on its own. I mean, Berserk Muso is kind of okay, but you know, the Berserk, Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage, and the Berserk PS2 game are very good examples of the series, and they put the series in a very good angle and a very good regard. It's sad that the series has gone out on this note. Granted, in some respects, I already kind of accepted it as being on this note because, you know, with the progress of the series, it was going so slow. I wasn't really sure how long it could keep going. Granted, Miura was 54, so, you know, it's not like he wasn't in a risky age, I didn't think. Because I didn't expect this from Miura. I expected more so from Togashi. You know, we knew Miura had difficulties, but Berserk still was coming out regularly. More so than Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter's been like a 2-year hiatus one. I just didn't expect it. I was caught completely off guard. And I have to give my reflections. And I had to take my conclusion on Berserk as a whole. And I'll say the series is magnificent. I had some misgivings about it. Not in any way because of its execution, but just because of... I'm not really a person for dark tone and tragedy. I'm someone who can get kind of worked over. I'll admit, Berserk works me over. Berserk is tough for me to read. But, as it always is, if something can make me feel this way, if something can push me to that extent, on that emotional level, like the Mother series, for example, then it's proven itself to be a work of art. And if it can affect me to that level after reading it, years after reading it, and I still look back, and I still have emotion in it, that's very respectable, because very few series can hold that for me. And very few series can hold that for me and hold up critically in all regards. You know, Berserk was on that level. And I don't know the future of the series. I don't know how things will go, but you know, I hope Miura's family is, you know, is getting through this, and you know, I hope Miura is in a good position. I hope God is, you know, give him good judgment. You know, hope for the best on that end. And it's tough, but Miura contributed what I would consider at this point the greatest manga I've ever read, the best manga I've ever read, of the highest quality, over 30 years. You know, man put in an insane amount of work, an insane amount of dedication, an insane amount of love and passion, and his convictions and his views of the world that he communicated through the manga. And it's pure art. It's pure art. And I can't recommend it enough if you've never read it. So that will be my send-off to Kentaro Miura. Too short for this world. It was truly a tragedy that that we lost a man of his skill, a man of his caliber, that early. And I know a lot of people say things like this, and it's vain, and it's generic, and it's what you expect to say. It's one of those cases where it's tough to say anything more than that. You just don't expect these things to happen. You expect things to be alright, you expect things to be normal, you expect that, hey, it'll probably go through, but we're mortal. And the saddest thing, I think, is that you had this 30-year project under the dedication of this man, and it just simply went unfinished. It just simply wasn't finished by him in his lifetime. Maybe there are some things that are just too good. I don't know. I don't know what to say other than what I've said. I just want to give full tribute to the man, full respect to the man for everything he did. So, Amen, Miura. Thank you very much for your contribution. Your series is brilliant. It will never leave me until the day I die. I'll be reading it. I'll be reading it as long as it goes, and I'll always respect it. So, thank you very, very much. I'm Spaghetti King. Thank you very much for watching. I love you all. Farewell.